year is 2006, and I'm out at South Kent, and one of the alums, a great NBA veteran, Darrell Wright, he ends up flying the team down to Miami to practice. He's with the Miami Heat at the time.
Darrell Wright was drafted by the Miami Heat at number 19 straight out of high school in that previous spring. In the fall, I was talking to Darrell, telling him, we were playing in the Christmas tournament, and I still want to do something prior to that so the guys didn't go home. We can train and stay in shape and still have some fun. And then he said, well, Coach, I'm trying to get back to the school and to the program. How about if you get the team down here, I'll take care of your lodging for the week.
It was a phenomenal trip, great experience. And I'm just grateful at this time to be a part of a team that gets to do all the things that we're doing. We're at Nike Elite School. We have all these great players. And towards the end of the trip, we end up taking a visit to this high school. We're packed into this gym. We sit in the bleachers. We're sitting on one side of the gym. Next thing we know, they put a chair out in the middle of the court.
I also found out that the Lakers were playing the Heat while we were down there. And so I called my contact at Nike, who was Kobe's personal business manager, and said, hey, you think you could surprise my team and have Kobe come talk to him? And he's like, yeah, no problem. Like the last day after we practice, I tell the guys go sit in the stands, and they're wondering why I'm doing that. And walks Kobe Bryant, and they all go nuts.
He walks out to the court, and, everybody's kind of like, oh, snap, that's Kobe Bryant. Everybody's shook a little bit. Candidly, I'm a huge Michael Jordan fan. So I'm excited, like, oh, snap, that's Kobe. But part of me is like, well, okay.
I don't remember all of it. At the time, I wasn't like a big Kobe fan, so I wasn't like hyper attentive. Like T-Mac was my guy, no lie, until I saw Kobe trash him inevitably.
So they begin to question and answer, and we're able to just kind of interact with them, going back and forth, and different people are asking questions.
Someone brought up Dwayne Wade, and it was just funny to look at him just talk about, great players like they were just children.
And finally, the question comes up, hey, Kobe, if Phil didn't take you out of the game, how many points you think you would have scored?
He had just scored 60 whatever in 3 quarters. And he just so calmly was just like, 80, 90.
And everyone started laughing. And then Kobe stared at Michael and gave him a real Kobe kind of look in Kobe's way, saying, no, seriously, I would have scored 80 or 90.
At the time, I was like, what an ass, he don't have no respect for nobody, whatever.
And it's at this point that I lose all interest in the conversation, because I'm like, come on, man. Like, you're really a great player. You're an all-star, one of the greats. 80, bro, 90, come on, man. Fast forward a couple weeks, we're in the common room. We're watching the game. It's like, Kobe's dropping 35. Kobe drops 50. And then 60, and then 70.
For 3 again, yes! 70 points for Kobe.
And then we're like, oh my gosh.
He just scored 81 points like it was no problem, like it was clockwork. And at that moment, I just decided, I was like, yeah, man, nobody's better than this dude.
And an 81-point game.
This dude told us that he could have dropped 80 or 90.
In Kobe fashion, Kobe said he could do it, and he went out and did it.
And it was one of the most unbelievable moments, just because it was the supreme confidence that he had. Like, you heard it from his mouth. There was no blinking. It was just like he said he could have dropped 80 or 90. And literally a week later, he drops 81.